right, good afternoon. Hi, I'm Dom.
I am Jamie.
Welcome back to the cutting room floor. Hey, you guys, if you guys celebrate the day, happy Easter to you. I know not everyone does, and that's okay. You're free to be who you want. But we thought, in honor of the day, we'll review an Eastery film. So Jamie here came up with the bright idea of, was it 2023?
Well, that's when it came out, but it was released because of like award season, but it was released everywhere like early 2024. But because of like award season, it was probably like limited release.
Yeah.
And probably like December maybe 2023.
So 2023 then. We'll give it the year.
Yeah.
People saw it. 2023, Book of Clarence. Directed by a dude, I don't remember his name.
James Samuels.
Yeah, he does music videos, right?
Yeah, but he also did The Harder They Fall.
Oh, he did that?
Yeah.
That's a good film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he did music videos, and you can tell by the way he directs his movies that he does.
And the music in the film.
Yeah, the music in the film was good.
Yeah.
A couple scenes, you definitely see that.
Like when they're dancing.
The dancing,
That is one of my favorite scenes.
That's one of the best scenes, definitely.
Yeah.
That was one of the best scenes. We'll get into it. So let's get into some stats.
Okay.
All right, so
we're probably the only people who love this movie.
Yeah, I mean, like, people...
You, me, and Felicia.
Yeah, people were... I guess they didn't like it. But, that's not true, actually. I've talked to a lot of older black women about this fucking movie.
Well, love it. Because it's like, one, Lakeith Stanfield is easy on the eyes.
Well, yeah, I'm sure the ladies like him.
Yeah, actually, like, I hate to sound strange, but every dude in this film is decent looking.
There wasn't too many, uggos.
Yeah, not at all. And the women are decent looking too.
Oh yeah.
So it's and look, you have Benedict Cumberbatch,
dude.
You have James McAvoy doing his best Russell Crowe.
Yo, he was literally being Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
I love James McAvoy.
Yeah, he was great, and those two characters, just like in the short time they're in there,
make an impact.
Yeah, they're almost as good as Clarence. Because Lakeith Stanfield is amazing.
Oh, he kills it.
It's his film, definitely.
This movie lives and dies on his performance.
Yeah,
it does. He brought it. But I guess we didn't like it.
I'm sorry, you said older.
Yeah, older black chicks love this movie, bro. I talked to this older black lady. She was like, I've been trying to get my daughters to watch this.
That's right, you did say that.
And I'm like, oh, what movie? She was like, probably haven't seen the Book of Clarence. I was like, oh, I've seen that. She's like, you have? She's like, yes, I have. I was like, man, I watch a lot of stuff. I was like, hey, tell your girls is good. I was like, listen, it's definitely, if you wanted to introduce your kids to Jesus or religion or whatever, this is a good film for young people.
It's a good gateway drug.
Yes, it's a good gateway film.
Yes.
It's got stuff young kids like in it. You know what I mean? They're very human in this. This doesn't feel like they feel like regular people just back in the day.
And that's one of the things that I realized watching it this time, because this might be the fourth or fifth time I've seen it, but I haven't seen it since last year because I was obsessed with it when I first watched it. And I realized what this film does is it puts like Clarence is a surrogate for like the viewer, and it puts you as the viewer through everything with him.
Yeah, it does.
And I don't want to say too much until we get to it, but you know what I mean.
Because this movie,
spoiler alert, we're going to spoil this movie.
We're going to spoil the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, listen, if you've been watching it, we spoil every film.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no non-spoil. Except for brand new shit.
Yeah, Oh, yeah, if we're like, went right out of the theater.
Yeah, that's it. But other than that,
and that's
anything that's a year old, it's spoiled.
And that's why they like and subscribe.
Yeah, and make sure you do that. So,
yes.
But this movie, people didn't like it. And I had a lot of theories on why.
I text you my theory.
Yeah, and I agree with it. There's a lot of reasons why people might not like this movie. But Rotten Tomatoes, 66. So it is fresh, but barely.
Wait, is it 66.6%?
That'd be funny if it was.
Yeah, because, that might be why.
Right? That's funny. But and by the way, guys, this is on Netflix right now, so it's easily accessible. I don't know why you would watch this video if you haven't seen the movie, but if you are, And
Yeah,
you like,
Netflix.
because some people like movies spoiled. Oddly, some people are like, well, I'm going to watch it, but just tell me what happens.
Yeah.
Why? But whatever.
And believe it or not, I rewatched it on Netflix this time with subtitles.
I did too.
And I love the subtitles because of the accents that some of the actors have. And it actually explains the one scene where Clarence is talking to Verinia. And he's like, I love how you say my name with 2 syllables.
2 syllables.
But if you watch the subtitles, everyone's like, Clarence. Like Clarance. They don't say Clarence.
Yep. Clarence.
And I didn't hear that every other time I watched it until I read the subtitles.
Yeah, I'm a subber, bro. You know, I'll watch everything, if possible, with the subtitles. If I can, I can't. But the subs is always on for me.
And I have to say, there's too many quotes in this film.
There's a lot. I got some.
That's good because I was trying.
There was so many. There was a lot. I was like, I'm going to have to skip that one.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, there was a lot.
And they're mostly from Clarence.
Yeah, a lot of them are from Clarence. A lot of them from some other people too, but most of them are from Clarence.
Yes.
I was like, ugh.
It was. This is a tough one because you could quote the entire film and it would all be gold.
Because it's like, it does have a lot of words of wisdom in it.
Yes.
So IMDb,
yes,
5.6. Not that great. Letterboxd, 3.1. So that's not terrible.
So like Movie Files probably like it.
They like it a little more than probably the critics did. I mean, because Cinephiles, I think they can eliminate some of the biases that some other people might have had watching this movie.
Well, I realized too, watching it this time, and we'll talk about it when we're talking about it, but this film isn't necessarily about just what it seems like it's obviously about.
No, not at all.
It's about like everything from that point on
until
right now.
Yes. That's the main thing I picked up. I was like, yo, this movie is saying a lot about today.
Especially with Clarence's mom.
Yes. There's a lot. I was like, this movie's got some very current social commentary to it that I did not catch the first time I watched it. I mean, I caught a little bit, but not like I did this time. That's why it's great to watch movies twice, because you're so focused on the main story when you watch it the first time.
Yeah.
You watch it again, you know what's going to happen, so you can look at other little things and pick up on stuff.
Yeah.
So those are the stats. So let's get into it.
All right. The Book of Clarence.
Book of Clarence. You want to start them off?
I guess so. 33 AD, it's a Sunday.
Yes, it is.
And it starts off with a chariot race.
Yes, very exciting.
Between Mary Magdalene, our boy Clarence.
Played by Tiana Taylor, who is... Whoa. Yo, have you seen her body, dude?
No, she was all wrapped up in the movie.
Bro, all right, you talk and I'm going to show you her body.
So it's between Mary Magdalene, our boy Clarence, and his boy Elijah.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you find out...
Love Elijah, by the way.
Elijah is one of the best characters.
He's one of the best characters.
Yes.
And he plays Earl and the Dying Girl.
Yeah.
Incredible actor. Very underrated. Would like to see him in more stuff. Anyway, sorry.
Elijah, as I was watching this time around, like, he is so good, and it's all background stuff. Like when John the Baptist... that
is the point when he's sitting there smoking. That shit, I was cracking up at that part, yo.
Yeah, because Elijah and Clarence are essentially potheads.
Yes, they're stoners.
So they're basically Smokey from Friday. If Smokey was 2 people.
Yes.
And they're besties. Hey now.
Yeah, bro.
So.
Yeah, she's no joke.
So it starts off, actually, they almost run over Benjamin.
Yep.
This beggar in the street that is so encrusted with dirt and grime that he looks black.
He does.
Because that's how it starts. It starts out with him asking if they could spare anything so he can get like food or whatever. And then he's like, because it's like the horses
and chariots.
Yeah, they're like, Benjamin, get out of the way.
Knocking people over.
Yeah. And that's how it starts. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It starts off.
I mean, that is pretty much okay. Yeah. You see they give you a little preview.
Yeah.
But it really starts off at the race.
Yeah, the story. So in a way, it's like it goes down.
It is. It is like it goes down. Actually, what we just covered.
Yeah, last week.
Now go watch it if you guys. I know you love Kieran Culkin, so go watch that.
And so it starts off the actual story to get to where the very beginning starts off with the chariot race. They almost run over Benjamin. Benjamin is an important character.
Yes.
They keep running into him throughout the film.
Mm-hmm.
And they end up going into gypsy territory in their race, and the gypsies shoot darts at them. Mary is okay because she knew to duck.
Yep.
And Elijah and Clarence get hit by the darts and get like fucked up.
Yeah, fucked up bad.
Man, and they crash
the chariot, fuck everything.
And it's not their chariot, they're not their horses.
Their horses, nope.
They planned on winning because they were going to be rich for at least 3 days.
Yeah, because they have a live in the moment mentality.
They do, yes.
Like, listen, bro, we win this now, we're good. Like you said, for probably 3 fucking
I think that's what they say in the movie.
Yeah, that's
or that's what Clarence says. Because Elijah's like, we're going to be rich, and Clarence is like, for at least 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. And now that they lost, they're indebted to
Jedediah the Terrible, yeah. Who is the brother.
He's a great character, actually.
He is, yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially, yeah, he is, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really redeems himself.
Yes, he does.
He's the brother of the woman that Clarence is in love with.
Yes.
So he's in debt to him because all the little gypsy kids, led by Cabbage.
Yeah,
the Cabbage who, like, oh my God, at the end, even he's, dude, everyone at the end.
Everybody.
It kills me.
Yo.
It kills me.
There's a couple scenes where, like, these actors really shine. I was like, woo.
Like, I'm not sure whose peak season it is because of Omar Sy.
Dude, I didn't.
Dude, like, how, as Barabbas.
Yeah, he's incredible. He was my personal favorite character.
Yeah.
I couldn't say it's his peak season, though, because he's in this French movie called The Untouchables.
You talked about him before, yeah.
And that's got to be his peak season, because he's like, it's his movie.
I don't know, I told you before, he was Bishop in X-Men Days of Future Past. That's definitely not his peak season.
Yeah, he's in a lot of shit, actually, bro. He's in a lot of film credits.
The sad thing is they had a great actor playing a great character, and they underused him.
They did. Yeah. He was awesome, bro. Oh. Anyway,
but yeah, as Barabbas, he's incredible. So they go and talk to Jedediah and tell him, hey, we lost.
But we still got 29 days.
Yeah. 29 days and 22 hours before I kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Or before I crucify you. But before that, I'm going to get really evil.
Yep.
Wait, isn't that...
you can tell Jedediah's like kind of fucking with him.
Yes,
like, because he doesn't actually want to hurt him.
No.
It's like game 38.
Yes,
That's a long deadline to get the money. He knows they sell weed.
Yeah, so they should have enough time, you would think.
Yeah, if they're not stupid, but they're, like you said, they're smoky and wine.
Yeah, they are. They are, yeah. So they're not thinking like, okay, so they leave. Oh, and that's a great scene because they're leaving Jedediah's harem, and one of his henchmen, I don't know if it's Samson or Goliath, is like, get out, and he's like, we're
leaving.
Yeah.
We're already leaving. They're walking right in front of the door.
Yeah.
Get on.
Yeah. It's like little shit like that that I just love in this movie.
Funny. That's what was like. They definitely made it funny too.
Like after the chariot race, like Elijah asks Mary Magdalene if she's okay, and Clarence is like, I'm the one.
I'm the one. Well, Elijah clearly wants to fuck Mary.
Oh yeah, because he even says at one point, like maybe I can get her in my tent.
Like clearly wants to fuck, and I don't blame him at all.
Yeah. So it's after that is that when Clarence goes home and we meet?
Yeah, he goes home and talks to his mom.
Yeah, he talks to his mom, and his mom is trying to help him find a wife.
Yeah. Like
get a life, really.
Yeah. And one important thing is to cope with the decisions his brother made.
Yes.
Because his twin brother.
Okay, one of the most brilliant things about this film that I love to death. So my middle name is Thomas.
Okay.
So
never knew that. Jamie Thomas?
James Thomas Hudson Jr. I'm so Catholic, it's ridiculous.
So Jamie Thomas is one of the best pro skaters of all time.
Really?
Yeah. Really? I'll have to show you. Okay. He's a beast. But, wow. All right, I didn't know that. Cool. JTH. J.
Yeah, JTH. Yeah.
With a little J at the end.
Yeah. Yep. So I was in 4th grade and I was in Catholic school, and for All Saints Day. I picked St. Thomas.
Okay.
So, because he was the doubting one. And I did a little bit of research, and I remember finding out that it comes from the Greek word didymus, which means twin. So as soon as I saw this film, and they're like, he is Thomas's twin brother, I was like, James Samuels is fucking brilliant.
Hey. Yeah,
because Thomas means twin.
Thomas means twin. He clearly... This had to be a passion project. Yeah, this isn't a film you don't do this for your second film.
Yeah, and it's like you don't like do this kind of thing if you don't know the source material.
Yes, this was definitely a passion project.
So it's new as shit. So it's definitely not sacrilegious, and I think a lot of people went into it or avoided it because they thought it was.
It is not at all.
No,
not at all.
It might seem like it in a lot of areas, but then like the last third.
It's very pro. Around. I think it's very pro-religion.
Yeah, it is.
I would say it's very pro.
So, yeah, because his twin brother, Clarence's twin brother, Thomas, is the Apostle Thomas. Oh, that's right. Before he goes home, they see the apostles.
Yeah, that I didn't know if they went and saw him before.
Yeah,
Okay.
They did see him because they're walking through the town.
And they fuck with him. That's a funny ass scene too.
It is.
And Thomas is hilarious because he obviously he's Lakeith playing dual roles, so obviously yes they look alike, but one is an afro and one has dreads. So that's how you tell them apart.
Yes. And Clarence usually has like the gold thing.
Yeah, he has the gold things on his dreads.
Yes. Yeah.
Thomas is afro, so Thomas is I guess maybe the more natural one.
Yes.
And because they're one's supposed to symbolize like faith and morals and ethics, and the other's supposed to symbolize like greed and gluttony and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're right. Because Clarence, when they see them, Elijah's like, my God, and he's like, no, God doesn't
exist. Yeah. And it's funny because
but they do.
Yes, but as we go on, we see. On the surface, it seems like one's better than the other. We find out it's actually very reverse. And not to say Thomas was a bad guy or anything, but he had very, very selfish intentions. And it's not that he wasn't following a good cause if that's what you believe in. But I agree with Clarence. You don't leave your mother behind while she's sick.
Yeah, it's almost like
she has no one but him.
What I've noticed in life in general is the people that have to tell you they're Christian don't lead a Christian life.
They don't do the Christian shit.
But like Clarence, who didn't believe in anything, ended up leading a more Christian life than even his apostle brother.
Yep.
And it's kind of crazy when you see it that way. But he wasn't like, hey, I'm a Jesus freak, everybody.
Yeah, no, he was not. But,
no.
I mean, well.
Yeah.
Well, all right, go. Yeah, we'll get.
So there are a couple scenes I think before he gets to his mom. And the other one is he and Elijah get stopped by Roman centurions.
Oh, yeah, and they get questioned about their papers.
Because they fit the profile.
They're like, you two fit the description, which I was like, I watched, I was like, okay, this is very modern.
Yeah. And Clarence is like, we have two different profiles.
Yeah.
How do we fit? Can we see the picture of this guy? And it's that Egyptian.
The Egyptian. It was fucking hilarious. You guys fit the description. And they were like, all right, we go. And essentially, it was, hey, guys, I'm Officer whoever.
Yes.
You boys fit the description. You got license and registration on you.
And it's important to point out the Romans, the centurions, they're all white and they're all British.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's on purpose.
Probably.
So I'll probably go into my theories later.
We get theory out later.
Yeah.
But I think that was a modern choice he made there. Yes.
I believe so.
Yes.
And so then Clarence goes to his mom and they talk a little bit, and she wants him to branch out and to be
just grow up, essentially.
Yeah, because she believes, much like Verinia when she talks to his mom later, she believes he doesn't see his potential, is the best way to say it.
Yep. And he doesn't. Absolutely doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Because he does things throughout the film before he does start to see his potential that show you he is a good guy.
Yeah.
He's a nice dude.
But he does little things that show you that he's also terrible.
He's also a little fucker.
Because when he and Elijah are, after they get robbed by the gypsies.
Oh, they go to sell the weed to the dude?
Well, like, as they're walking through the town, they pass Benjamin.
Yep.
And he steals Benjamin's
I forgot
robe.
He did that. Yeah. He steals his robe. And he ripped that guy off with the weed. He's like, if I knew somebody else to buy from, I would. but you don't.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm like, he's an asshole. So,
Yeah, that's right.
Holy shit! But
oh yeah, and they do smoke, don't they?
they smoke a lot.
Oh yeah, but that's the part where they're floating.
Oh yeah. After all that, that's when they go to. It's like essentially like a hookah lounge.
Yeah, yeah.
And
they're literally getting high.
They got high as fuck because they were floating.
Yeah,
and that's when he comes up with the idea that he wants to be the 13th apostle.
The 13th apostle, yes. Yes, and that's when he goes to where the apostles are, and everybody laughs at him.
They laugh him off.
Yeah.
The little, I don't remember his fucking name, little asshole traitory one.
Judas,
that's right.
Judas, and who has those beads, and it's so brilliant because every time he does it, they have that snake noise.
Because he's snake.
Yeah, it's like, God, I just love these.
I didn't connect that foreshadowing. That's pretty good.
And, dude, this movie is actually so fucking brilliant.
I definitely on the second watch, I was like, okay, there is some brilliance here I didn't recognize the first time because I liked it the first time, but I was like the second time I was like, even better because I even hit my mom. I was like, Mom, did you watch this shit? And she was like, no, it's been on my list. I'm like, watch it before Sunday. And she was like, okay. I was like, or watch it on Sunday while you're eating or whatever.
Yeah.
So
or even tomorrow. Tomorrow's Good Friday.
Good Friday, yeah. So she can do that. But yeah, so that's when they get there. They laugh them off and they give him a challenge.
So Judas is like, if you want to be an apostle, go free all the gladiators held by...
What's his name, Asher?
It is Asher. Yeah, Asher. And it's that dude who plays Mbega in Strange New Worlds. He's a good actor.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of shit. He was in Dune 1. He's the guy Chalamet kills at the end.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
And he was also in The Defenders, which was like Daredevil season 2.5 before Daredevil season 3 on Netflix. He was in that too.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's good. I'm like, he's been in some little shit. He's getting more out there.
I've never seen him bad in anything I've seen him in.
No.
So he plays this guy who has all these gladiators that are his slaves, and Clarence goes and tries to free them.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, do you know how much this is going to cost?
Yeah, he's like, you ain't freeing my sleep,
But if you fight Barabbas the Immortal,
the best one I have,
he'll be free. You can have him.
You can have him.
And it's
one of the coolest little fight scenes I've ever seen. Because you expect Clarence to get his ass whipped. When you see Barabbas, you're like,
oh shit.
And I'm like, that guy.
Especially when he's wearing that mask.
Yeah. He's got to be like 6'4", 260. Like, that guy's huge, bro. And like he's probably like 6 foot, like 170. He's skinny.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they get the fight, and then the Keith he hits him once, and he's like, oh, it's gonna be easy.
Oh yeah, unprovoked. Yep. You hit me unprovoked.
Yep.
Or you strike me unprovoked. I forget what he said.
It's something like that.
Because Barabbas is very proper.
He is.
And I love how. Oh, anyway, I think it's after that scene. He says something that's hilarious.
But we'll get we get there.
Yeah. So they fight, and Barabbas has he broke Clarence's sword. He has him on the ground. He's going to throw a net over him. So Clarence blinds him from the sun on the sword, and then the net lands on nothing. And so
Barabbas tries to stab him, but he stabs the net.
And he
Clarence slides
over his back and
puts the knife to his throat, and he's like, I got you.
Yeah.
I bested you.
Yeah.
And of course, Asher doesn't want to give up Barabbas.
No.
He's like, it's my best one. Fuck you.
Yeah, and Barabbas is like,
aren't you a man of your word?
But before that, when Clarence has the knife to him, Barabbas says something to him, and Clarence is like, and you're free.
Yep. He's like, you've won. I think he said you've won or some basically saying you won.
You bested me.
I think that is what he said.
Yeah, I think that is what he said. Yeah,
like,
and you're free.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, that's really powerful.
Yeah.
And you're right. Asher doesn't want to give him up, but then, aren't you a man of your word? So then he lets him free because Clarence is like, I came for all these guys, not just one.
Not just one, yeah.
But he settles for Barabbas because he's the best one. And then Barabbas is in his debt.
Yeah, he's like, yo, you free me.
Yeah, you're a king.
And they become like, they get tight, the three of them.
Yeah.
Like, they
Even
get,
Zeke,
and
though.
Zeke too.
Zeke peripherally.
He's kind of chauffeuring, but like,
yeah.
they all get pretty tight. Like, Barabbas becomes a brother fast.
Oh, yeah, because once he gets the idea, Barabbas is instrumental.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And so is Elijah.
Oh, he's the main one.
Yeah.
He's like,
Elijah, you all right?
You right? He's like, Elijah, you good? So, hey, can you heal me? Sorry, only 1 miracle a day. I was like, yo, that's exactly what I told him. I was like, if anybody asks me to do it to them, I'm like, I only got enough juice for once a day. I'll be back sometime, though. It's funny. So
So then they're in their in Zeke's ride in his whip.
Yep, in his whip.
And,
literally.
And they're talking, and that's when he gets the idea.
Yep, he gets the idea that he's gonna perform miracles and get money.
He goes to talk to Mary and Joseph first. Yes, to Jesus' parents.
That's
because
funny scene.
because he wants to know. I was just being a virgin, doing virgin
shit. Yeah, that's what I was like, bro. That part is minding my virgin business.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Minding my virgin business. And he's like, yeah, you virgin. She's like, how dare you?
Yeah, she smacks the hell out of him.
She slapped that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dude, Alfred Woodard's like, she's got to be like pushing 70, bro. She looks great still.
Yeah, she looks fantastic.
I'm like, bro, she was like playing moms in like the 90s. I'm like,
she was in some seasons of Desperate Housewives like 20 years ago, too.
Was she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good. But yeah, so she visits them, and he's basically like, "Yo, so can you just tell me how he does his
tricks? Yeah,
his tricks.
Like, what tricks?
Not tricks."
And she explains he's always been special. Jesus has always been special, and Joseph wasn't always cool with it.
Always,
yeah. He's like, so you were always cool with it? No.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
So he's basically like, "All right, fine, good talking to you. But fuck you, I'm just gonna fake it then."
Yes, yeah. So, and that's when he starts practicing.
Yep.
And he gets Barabbas and Elijah to be his plants.
Yep,
yeah.
And they make a shit ton of money going through these little villages.
Yeah.
And essentially doing circus performance.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
That's really what it is. It's here's my dancing monkey, here's my hat, put money in it.
Yeah, it's like early P.T. Barnum.
That's what it is. Travel to a town, put on a show, people tip you, and that's how you got paid.
Yeah.
So it's nothing you haven't seen in any
shekels
movie.
Upon shekels
upon shekels. Dude, they were getting breaded out. Like, dude, he was like, you got over like 1,000 shekels, Clarence. Like, man, he said you could buy your mom a house.
Yeah, because that's what he told his mom. He's like, I want to give you a place bigger than this. I want you to be able to do what you want.
And his mom, Marion John Baptiste, she's a great actress too. She's done a lot of, I don't know if you ever heard of the British director Mike Leigh. She's done a lot of his movies, and they work really well together.
I've seen her on TV before.
She's good. She's in a movie that came out last year called Hard Truths, and people want her to get an Oscar nom for it. She was fantastic in it. I was like, this woman, she's a beast, but she didn't care about none of that shit. She just wanted him to do something with himself and be happy. Yeah. And all kids like that, they come from a bad background. I'm not saying he came from a bad background. They have no money.
No, poor.
Yeah, they was poor.
Yeah,
because it seemed pretty safe back then. You know, that's because crack wasn't around yet.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm dead ass.
What is it? Laguna weed or whatever you call it?
They're just smoking trees.
Yeah, that's all.
So they're chilling. So crime wasn't like crime yet, you know, because when crack came around, that's when the black community got fucked for real.
Yeah. But I'm not going to say the government did that.
But I'm not say that. But I won't say it. They didn't. But Clarence is like, yeah, dude. He's like, yo, you can buy a house. He's like, yo, you can buy horses. You can buy whatever, dude. And he's like, He's like, you can maybe share some with your boys. Yeah, I definitely break them off.
And I think that's when he said under his breath, I could get Mary in my
I can
tent.
get married in my tent.
Yeah, because he got the money.
You have the bread, yeah.
Yes.
Because I'm like, if I got 1,000 shekels, I'm like, bro, I'm going to give each y'all at least 150.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Y'all help.
But what does Clarence do?
Clarence does something better. Clarence goes back to Asher, throws him all the fucking money. Don't even count it out. Because he could have made him an offer.
Yeah.
He could have been like, yo, I got 500 for you. Like, let's get 500. Might have bought almost all of them.
Yeah, if not all of them, plus interest.
Yeah, plus, but he didn't care about the money. The whole point was, I made this money, and I think he felt bad that he took from the people.
Yeah.
Because in that time of fame, we forgot to mention this, in that time of fame, he runs into Tommy again, and Tommy makes him feel like shit for what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. And for my final trick, I'm going to make this
guy disappear. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And he's basically like, I'm sick of you, Tommy.
Yeah.
And
didn't you say you didn't want to see me again?
Yep. And I'm sorry, I don't blame Clarence at all for how he feels about Tommy. All Tommy does is pass judgment and run away from him.
Yeah.
I'm like, you run away from me, you run away from your mother. It seems like you don't live that far, but you don't come visit mom ever.
And I think it shows a side of the Gospels from the New Testament that we don't think about it. Because it's like, we know, as much as I love to say as a joke that Jesus was a fisher of men, because that just sounds dirty. Because think about what worm he would have used. Even though I say that as a joke, like, it does say all these guys left their families.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them were married, had kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I also like the fact that it's showing like a real world example of who gets left behind when something like that happens.
Yep. I'm like, it's just, it like I said, it represented a lot in not only a biblical sense, but in just a real life sense.
Yeah,
You've seen people abandon their families in real life for one thing or another. Like, there's guys who have that military runaway. Oh, I hate being home. I'm just going to go re-enlist.
Oh, yeah.
Go back. Well, your wife and kids are sitting there fucking dying while you're doing
over there
military shit. Yeah.
They're dying over here. You're killing over there.
And that's cool, bro. We need you. You know what I mean? Yeah. We need you. We appreciate you. But, I mean, so does your family.
Yeah.
And it's like, let's keep it real. You're a number to them. You're everything to them.
Yeah.
To the family.
Because the people that are ordering you to do that won't do it themselves.
Hell no. You're expendable.
Yeah.
To your family, you're everything. So,
yeah.
I don't know. It just depends on where your priorities lie.
Yeah.
And I think it showed that a lot.
And I guess whatever you feel the most value in.
Yeah, I mean.
If that makes sense. Like,
and some people feel like, well, I'm not that great of a dad or a husband, but I'm a great soldier.
Yeah, and I'll be getting paid, so I'm still providing.
I'm providing. So it's like, I have the shield of I'm providing for my family, but I'm really running away from them.
Yeah.
So.
Because it's scary. That's probably scarier than showering with other dudes in the military. Right?
Yeah.
Sleeping with other dudes in the military.
I'd rather do it in the military than in jail.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Jail,
Yeah.
But
you might get it in the end.
You might get it in the end. So Clarence frees the slaves, and they were like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
No ordinary man would do this.
Yeah, they're like, you did that. Okay. And Judas is, he looking side-eyed like, I don't know. And they still don't really trust him. They don't really believe it, which is crazy. I'm like, I did something none of you guys could have did.
Yeah, and he actually did it selflessly and without, like, Jesus's help.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
without God's whatever.
I'm like, I essentially tricked the people around into helping do this.
Yeah.
We all gave donations.
Yeah.
I'm the GoFundMe.
Yeah,
that's
really what it was.
To fund me.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I mean, I might have tricked them into doing it, but they were entertained. They had a good time.
Yeah.
They ain't going to miss the one shekel they dropped in the hat.
Yeah.
They'll be okay. So lives are saved because of you guys. I think you guys will be all right. If I found out that $1 I put in the dude's hat, because I thought he did a magic trick with a card, actually went to save a bunch of kids, I'd be like, you know what? I would have gave you 5.
One of my favorite lines happens after he gives Asher all that money, because Elijah says to him, "You're going to get killed because of Jedediah. Terrible, because that would have been the money to pay him off, right? And what does Clarence say?
I'm trying to remember. I probably got.
But 20 more will live.
Yeah, but 20 more will live. That's right.
Yes, and that's when you know something in him changed.
Changing, yeah, I'm like he's changing heavy
because he kept saying like he didn't believe in God and he didn't believe in anything, which at this point I still don't think he does.
I don't think he does either.
But I think what he learned was believing in himself made him a better person.
Yes,
because he never believed in himself before.
I was literally like, he just believed in himself. Yeah. Which, if you do believe in yourself, it's gonna make you either a better person or a much shittier person.
Yeah,
he was already a good, decent person.
Yes.
So it just made him a better guy. You know, I'm like, okay, you ripped a little dude off for some weed, you stole something from a bum. I mean, it's not good, but there's way worse shit you could do.
Yeah,
you know. But in turn, you take care of your mom. You know, you look out for people around you. So it's like, we can't judge a man by
circumstances.
Yes. So yeah, and then he goes to see. They go. Oh, doesn't he go see Verenia?
Oh, he does.
After he sees him.
Yeah,
and she's looking. Yeah, she was nice. And
is that when he's like outside smoking?
Yeah,
and she's like, "You're unrecognizable."
Yep. Because he's iced out now.
Yeah,
that's when he started putting the gold in the dress. He's got better clothes and stuff, so he's looking fresh. So she's like, "Oh, you iced out? I see you." And he's like, "Yeah, why don't you come meet up with me later? We're gonna go to a little party, have a little fun." She's like, "I don't know, maybe," but of course, you know, she pulls up. Yeah, and that's when you get the dance scene.
Oh yeah,
and
that's a great scene.
Great scene, man. Fun time. They got this fun little choreographed dance, and it's shot very much like a music video. Yeah, which the director, I guess that's where you got to start, and it shows. And a lot of good directors started in music videos.
David
Fincher, F. Gary Gray, like.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I do love. I mean, we mentioned Friday.
Yeah, set it off like
bro. The Italian Job,
bro. Yeah, All Abiding Citizen.
Oh wow, yeah.
I'm like, he's got some bangers actually. Straight Outta Compton, so good. So actually, he's done quite a few movies now that we're going through them. But anyway, so yeah, they have a great time. They dance. I guess they was drinking a little something, right? You know, they was smoking something. Yeah. They stayed stoned in this movie. That's what I found funny. I'm like, you know, the young kids can relate to that. Yeah. I'm like, oh shit, hey bro, they smoke like me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So they're like, bro, you know, religion ain't that bad. Jesus was definitely token up. You know what I'm saying?
That's why, like, if I was thinking about it, like 20 years ago, let's say, for like a recast, I'm like, all right, Dave Chappelle
would play
Clarence and Thomas, obviously. Yeah. Donnell Rollins could be Elijah.
Oh my God!
And Charlie Murphy could be Barabbas. Yeah, I was like, those three guys.
You could honestly cast a bunch of people from the Chappelle Show.
Yes,
that's fucking great.
And it would have been probably just as powerful and just as funny.
It would have been so good. Clarence, damn.
Yeah, well,
he would have been so good back like
that's why I was having such a hard time.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Because you already know they all have chemistry together.
Yep.
So you want people that you already know. Because actually watching this film, I don't know if these guys knew each other before that, but it looks like they knew each other forever.
They must have sat down and chilled for a little bit. Yeah. Like we said, they had great chemistry. Yeah. Especially like the three of them, Barabbas, Clarence, and Elijah. The three of them, they were real tight. And like Zeke too, but the three of them were really in it.
Well, Zeke is like, I gotta go film Stranger Things.
He's like, I'll be back later.
Yeah,
Who knows when it's gonna come out though?
Yeah. No one knows.
No one knows when it's gonna come out. But so they're having a good time. They go outside, and of course, trouble's around the corner. You can't have a good time without some shit going sideways. So the Romans pull up.
Well, no.
Jedediah's bulls pull up. Yeah, Jedediah Terrible's bulls pull up. Like, where my money? Even though it probably ain't even been 30 days yet.
Yeah, probably not. But remember, Jedediah saw him, and he's like,
he charged mistress. Yeah. He was like, he's making way too much bread. Yeah. He was like, hold on, I gotta put a cap on that. Yeah. So Jedediah, his bulls roll up, they fuck with him, and they think that Verenia snitched when she didn't. They just followed her because they knew she was gonna go see him. So he's like, listen, I'm gonna need that bread, yada yada. But none of that matters because the Romans come and foil the party. And they're like, all right, I need to see papers from all y'all. Y'all need to get up out of here. All y'all talking about Jesus and all this shit that ain't allowed. Y'all about to get fucked up. And basically, we have a scene where the cops come into someone's neighborhood.
Yes.
Fuck with the people who live there. The people who live there stand up for themselves, and they get punished for it.
Yeah.
That's essentially what this is.
Yeah, really, yes.
But in the film, what it is Barabbas and Jedediah stand up to these guys because even though Jedediah don't love Clarence, he's his favorite guy, he's like, hey, we're still from the same neighborhood. Yeah. I grew up with him. I still know him. I still have his back over any of you guys any day.
Yeah, he's like, you're not
it's us versus them. Yeah, he's like, I may not fuck with Clarence on the streets, but in a situation like this, it's us versus them. It's just like the Crips and Bloods united for a better cause for a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like...
Because he even says, he's like, Clarence is a good man.
Yep, he's like, he's a good man. I'm not going to let you take him. And they were ready to stand up and fight, but of course, the Romans ain't stupid.
And Barabbas.
And Barabbas, toughest guy ever. Toughest guy ever. The Romans are basically like, we got your sister, and if you don't want nothing to happen to her, you can step the fuck aside. Yeah. So of course he does. And Barabbas is like, I ain't taking this shit. And so he's like, I'm immortal. He's been saying it the whole movie.
Yeah, he has, because that's what his gladiator name was. Barabbas the Immortal.
He's like, I'm immortal.
He's like, look, I've been stabbed with swords, even in the mouth.
In the mouth. And he is immortal.
Yeah.
As we see this motherfucker get speared the fuck up.
Yeah, and even his anger, he said
my heel.
He might as well be Achilles.
Yep, he's Achilles,
Yeah, basically.
Like my Achilles heel, literally.
Yeah.
But they get him and it still doesn't take him out.
Well, that's because when the guy goes to retrieve his spears, he's like, wrong ankle motherfucker.
Yep, wrong ankle.
Oh my God. And the way he delivers that line.
Yep. I was like, get him.
And he lifts the guy up and just like spears him with the spear that's through his chest.
That's what houses not ran over.
Yeah.
Like, this movie's violent as shit.
It is, but it's almost like it needs to be for those scenes to feel the impact.
Yes.
Because that one Roman asshole with the blonde hair who, we'll just call him Alpha, for lack of a better...
young guy, the little wannabe, he's like a rookie cop or some shit.
Yeah, he's as... Barabbas is running away. He's like, look at him charging at me.
Yeah. He's like, you guys all saw it.
I fear for my life.
I fear for my life. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's like he was resisting.
Yeah.
You know, he had a weapon. He was charging assault on an officer.
Yeah. All the stuff we're used to hearing.
Yeah. I'm like, because I'm like, I really didn't think about it like that the first time I watched it.
Really?
No, I didn't. I was just more so, like I said, I was watching for the main story.
Oh, okay.
So now I've seen it and watched it.
You came for the crucifixion.
Yep. But I left.
It's an Easter story.
It's an Easter story.
So
they after they fuck with the cops, they get booked. Clarence gets booked. Freddie gets booked, and
but they let her go.
They let her go.
Yeah, and Clarence has to go before Pontius Pilate.
Yep.
Yeah, our man Russell Crowe wannabe James McAvoy.
James Mac.
Probably one of his best performances.
Better performances.
Yeah, because he can like chew the scenery in this performance. And he does. He chews it up, spits it out.
And his makeup was great.
Yeah, his hair, that terrible haircut
was great. He was, and you know, he loves playing villains because like he's in that Speak No Evil remake that came out last year. Oh my God, he ate that. He was very good in that. I was like, you having too much fun.
Well, was he good in those Unbreakable sequels?
Oh my God,
was it Split,
Fire, and Glass. Glass was in it, but Split is fire. He was great in Split. Split is good. You know, M. Night's like every other movie. One is terrible though.
It was based on a good comic. Does that count?
I guess the movie was not good.
Well,
he was good in it.
Yeah, once it was one of the first times. I think it's like he starred in a movie. He like carried a movie.
He did carry. That was probably his first carry because that was before X-Men, right?
It was. Yeah. It was like 3 years before First Class.
Before First Class, yeah. And that was a little bit before First Class.
And it was after The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, where he was the Pan dude.
Yeah, he was. Oh yeah, that was him.
Yeah,
that is kind of like.
So I know he did other stuff before that. Obviously,
like Atomic Blonde. What year was Atomic?
Atomic Blonde.
That's newer though, right?
Yeah, maybe
like, what 2013?
Maybe
12?
Maybe 10 years ago, if that.
Yeah, I was like, that's newer.
Yeah, but he was good in Atomic Blonde. But that was after X-Men. See, I think Wanted made people be like, "Oh, who's this dude?"
This dude? We can make him and put him in something good.
Yeah, yeah.
And they did. And now look at him. He's man. Yeah. So Clarence has to prove that he's not
a Messiah. Yeah. And he confesses everything. He's like, "This is what I've done.
I faked it. I fucked up everything.
No, this is what I have done."
Yep. And they're like, "Well, you're gonna walk on some water."
Well, before that, he's like, "Well, the problem is, you now say you're not a Messiah, but you've confessed all this other stuff."
Yep. Yeah. So now you're a criminal.
And one of his best lines, "Well, damn."
Well, damn. Yep. Well, damn. Yeah.
When you put it that way,
yeah, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, and then he's gonna have him walk on water, and he's like,
"Dude, I can't even
drowning.
swim.
You're free to go."
Right? Yep. He's like, "I can't even fucking swim."
And then
he's
what
like,
happened?
Because he believes, like, dude, this is fake. I'm gonna prove that I'm clearly not dead, and I can get up out of here.
Yeah,
right? It's like this motherfucker floats.
He walks on water, and what does Pilate say? He's like, "I wasn't gonna let you drown, but now I have to.
Now I gotta crucify you." Yep. And
it's like and you know what? One thing that I love actually about this film that we might have to talk about right here, because when he says that, it's like the iris in to like him, so it's like him just saying it, his face.
Mm-hmm.
And they do a lot of that kind of stuff in different scenes, but the whole film, it's filmed almost like, did you ever see like The Robe?
The Robe.
Yeah, it's Victor Mature and the guy who was married to Elizabeth Taylor a few times. Richard Burton. Yeah, Richard Burton. Right?
I saw it.
It's actually a religious movie.
Okay.
But it's about like Jesus' robe. Okay. It was the first film done in CinemaScope, which is widescreen.
Okay.
So this film, the way it's done, even in the beginning, it reminds me of those like classic early CinemaScope films. Like even the font of like the Book of Clarence and Book One and stuff. And the way some of the editing is done, it's an older kind of style. And I loved it because in spite of the cast that would frighten people in the 50s, if you took this movie and showed it with all that stuff in like the 1950s, cinema goers would be like, "Oh, this is a film that was just edited yesterday.
It just came out.
Yeah,
it's got this done."
Yeah, and I actually love that about the movie.
That's dope. I never even thought about that.
Now the music would scare people in the 50s.
I think
the cast would scare people in the 50s.
Everything else. Every single thing else.
Reviewers in the 50s would be like, "I love the Romans."
0 on Rotten Tomatoes. They'd be like, they'd have a 0. They'd be like, "The Romans were good.
Yeah,
put them in more stuff." How dare them for accepting these roles?
Yes. Yeah, but I noticed that, but especially in that scene when it like zeroes in on McAvoy's face as he's talking, like that's like a really old school kind of filming technique, and I love the fact that he was using those.
Dude, he did a lot of little tricks in here that worked out. I think he did want this to have an old timey feel.
Yeah,
you know, he wanted it to feel old but feel new at the same time.
Yeah, it's fresh but it's old. Retro glow though.
Fresh material, old feel.
Yes,
and that's perfect. And he did it all with a religious curtain.
Yeah,
because I was like, I wonder. I don't know. I wouldn't mind talking to this guy and just picking his brain a little bit to see where his head was when he made it. But anyway,
so Clarence gets sentenced to death.
Yep.
And so he's in jail, and our buddy Jesus comes back.
Yep.
And he sees. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, I think before that Jesus comes around, because Elijah is smoking.
Yep.
And Mary Magdalene is chained and getting stoned.
Oh my God, that scene! Yes, we have to talk about that.
Yes.
We have to talk about that scene. So
yeah. And that's actually before what we were just talking about.
Yeah, that is, but that's the important scene. We got to come back to that.
Yeah.
That scene is one of the best acted scenes in the film.
Oh, yeah.
Because those two were fantastic in that scene. So yeah,
Elijah and Mary Magdalene? Yeah.
So they're pulling up. All right, Elijah's coming around the corner, and he sees some commotion, and he sees people throwing rocks, and they're throwing them at Mary Magdalene because she's a whore.
She sexes with the Romans.
Which she probably didn't. Maybe she did. Whether she did or didn't, there's no reason you people or the judge, jury, and executioner,
Yeah.
throwing stones at this girl, literally throwing rocks at this woman. And Elijah obviously likes her, so he's like, "Hold on, fellas, you ain't about to stone my girl like that." So he jumps in front of her and protects her. And these people stone the shit out of them. And I was like, "Whoa, man, this is a heavy scene."
And Jesus walks up and
pulls
like a Neo.
Yep, he pulls a Thanos. And
oh yeah.
He's like,
he stops it.
I'll stop them rocks. And Elijah's like, "Bro, the rocks was floating in the air." And they just drop.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, that's right before they go dancing.
Yeah, right before they go dancing. So that was an important scene, and it kind of just to show you, yes, he's real. Jesus is real.
Yeah, and he and then that makes it sound like there's a town in Israel named Jesus.
Yeah,
Jesus Israel.
Jesus is pathetic.
yeah, there we go. and he like busts open the shackles that she's and everything, and then Mary starts following Jesus. And
she's like, "Well, shit, man, why not?"
Because he's like, let ye who's without sin cast the first stone, or a variation thereof. And this woman speaks up, and he's like, "Your name's Jezebel, right?"
Yep.
She's like, "Yeah, well, how did you know?" And he's like, "I don't worry, everyone's going to know your name
soon." And I was like,
yeah,
you probably sleeping with the Romans.
Yeah,
So jumping back to where we were, so Clarence, it's time for him to die.
And also, Jesus comes back again, and he runs into our man Benjamin.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Who's begging, and Jesus touches his hand, and all this silver starts popping out of his hand.
He gets rich for a day.
So he goes to Verinia, because she runs like a spa. Beauty salon, yeah.
It's like a spa.
And he's like, "I want to be made clean."
And
they're looking at him like, "Oh, shit."
And he's like, "I got bread." And they're like, "Oh, shit."
Yeah.
And they're like,
he lifts up his hand, all the silver keeps popping
They're like, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
So they make this man, this is one of the best parts.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of the best scenes. They make this man over, clean him up, shave him up. It's Benedict Cumberbatch.
Looking like
White Jesus. He's so white and pretty.
Yeah.
It's so trustworthy.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's funny.
Yeah.
That should have me crack up. I was like, did I notice that line the first time?
Yeah. There's a lot of
great
stuff in there.
That scene's great because they really do make him look great, dude. Because he was literally brown.
Or like coal
black, bro. He was dirty.
Yeah.
And they make his hair look all nice and luxurious.
Pretty much like the Jesus you see in like a Catholic
poster,
church. The icon that you see.
He's the image most people think of when you hear Jesus.
Yeah, that 15th century Italian dude they used as the model for all the paintings for Jesus.
Yep, that dude. So he's walking down the street throwing money.
Oh my God, that is
living life, flipping his hair. Yeah, he's like, "I'm the man, rich for a day."
Benedict Cumberbatch is so good.
He's good. He's good in everything he is.
He always seems like really serious.
He does,
but he must have the best sense of humor.
You gotta do something like that.
Yeah.
Like the dude calls, like, "Bro, listen, it's gonna be a small role, and you're gonna get made over by a bunch of black chicks. You're gonna be dirty the whole time." He's like, "Sign me up."
Yeah.
I'm like, he's funny as shit, and like, dude, you gotta watch Harry Sugar.
I do. I still have
Henry
to.
Sugar.
Henry Sugar.
He's so good in that, bro. I was like, Benny should have got a little. If it would have been a full length, he would have got Oscar now. So he's rich for a day and he's feeling good. Well, unfortunately for him, he picked the wrong day to get rich.
Yeah, because the centurions see him.
Yep, they see him.
Like, there's another false
Messiah, especially when you got money shooting out of your hands.
Yeah.
So they grab him. And they grab Clarence, and Clarence has to carry a cross.
Yeah, Clarence does the Stations of the Cross for any Catholics out there.
There you go. Yeah, you break this down. You got this.
So that's what they do with Clarence. They show what we know as the Stations of the Cross, where like the torture, the beating, and carrying the cross up to Golgotha, which is the little hill, where when Clarence gets there, Cumberbatch is already there, and all those other, I assume, false messiahs and thieves.
It's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, and it's great along the way because in the story that we're told, like Catholic school and Catholics in general for all the stations. Have you ever been to a Catholic church?
I've been to one, yeah.
And you didn't catch fire, I'm happy.
I didn't know.
That's good. That's good.
Because
some people are afraid. They're like, I might catch fire.
Dude, I told my boy, because he married an Italian Catholic guy.
Okay.
And I was like, listen, bro, I walk in there first in the flames. Don't be mad at me.
Yeah, just douse me with holy water.
I was like, toss it on me. I didn't eat the little wafer.
You shouldn't. If you're not Catholic, you shouldn't.
My boy was like, yo, just do this.
Yeah, and yeah. Like, you just kind of go up and you just kind of put your arm
that shit look dry anyway.
You could do like... Yeah, that's why they give you wine. I think just to wash it down.
That thing looked dry. I'm like, sheesh.
But see, on the walls, they usually have these things. It's either like some might be like stained glass or like little like statue things on the wall, which is for this time of year they do the Stations of the Cross, which is like there's usually 15. So I used to or 15 or 14. So my joke used to be, why is Comcast more popular than Catholicism? Because Catholicism only has like 15 stations.
15 stations.
Yeah. And people would stare at me like, you're an idiot. And I'm like, well, okay.
You're like, so you'll probably tell somebody else that though later.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty much his journey. The Stations of the Cross are the journey from being like convicted to the crucifixion and then being buried. And that's what they show, like the last part of the film is Clarence going through that. And people throughout the film, like Cabbage comes and tries to like help him.
Yep.
And
some people try and help, some people try and hurt.
Yeah. And
the crowd is going crazy.
Barabbas wants to help him because one of the stations for the Catholics out there is a man named Barabbas helping Jesus carry the cross when he falls down. But in the film, because Barabbas is a wanted man, Clarence is like, no, don't.
Yeah, he's basically like, he's basically like, this is literally my cross to bear.
Yeah, yes.
And let me bear it.
And it's really important because he's talking to Pontius Pilate before all this. And Pontius Pilate says, I will let you go and pay you 30 pieces of silver if you tell me where Jesus is.
Mm-hmm.
And Clarence is like, I would never do that.
Never.
It's like, I don't even believe in the dude.
Yeah, I don't believe him, but I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah, but I would never give up another brother.
Nope. And that was
actually really powerful.
Yeah, that's another thing in this movie. Don't snitch.
Yeah,
that was another modern twist on it.
But also, like, he's believing in him without believing in him.
Yeah, blind faith.
Yeah, and it's like he's like, I have too much integrity to sell him out.
At this point, I think he kind of believes.
He might, and
you have to. You just saw your own miracle.
And there's also like at the same time they're showing
people have told your best friend told you he's real.
Yes,
he's like, bro, I saw it. There's tons of people who saw it.
Yes,
it was at least 100 people out there that could witness that.
And even himself walking on water, he still didn't really believe.
That's what I'm like, bro. After I walk on water, I'm like, well, at least I know miracles are real.
Yeah.
So something's happening. I'm like, unless you got some plexiglass under this water, I can't see.
And so, like, at the same time, Jesus is telling his apostles, one of them's going to betray him, and it's the one that dips the bread in the gravy. And
they
everything freezes.
Yes, when they're having dinner.
Yeah, and it's great because the camera moves and it shows the classic painting of the Last Supper. And then Judas is like trying not to get the bread and dip it in the gravy. And he's like, I don't even like Mary Magdalene's cooking. She uses too much garlic.
Yep.
And then, the secret's the gravy.
Yep.
It cancels out the garlic.
And he's sitting there going on and on, just exposing himself.
Yeah.
Damn, that part is crazy.
And so then, so we all know the story. Judas does betray Jesus, but Clarence won't. Mm-hmm. So Clarence ends up having to go through everything that we know that Jesus supposedly went through.
Yep.
And so he gets up there. God, they nail him up.
They nail him up. The Clarence walks into the bar. He handed the barkeep 2 nails and said, "Can you put me up for the night?"
Yeah, a little bit of crow.
Yeah, he crowed him out. He crowed him out. Dude, and this scene's sick because like it's quite graphic in the way they frame it all.
And the way that like he looks,
he looks fucked up.
But like his one eye is all fucked up. And everything,
blood all over him.
Yeah,
I'm like, sounds like PG-13. Okay,
it is brutal, probably because it's religious.
It's religious movie, they get away with it.
Yeah,
The Passion could not be PG-13.
No, too much sex,
bro. For the passion. Yeah. Dude, they like pull part of Jesus's ribs out of him.
Yeah,
like shit. I was like. I'm like in 6th grade watching this shit in theaters, like traumatized. I was like, Mel Gibson, what are you doing?
He hates Carpenters.
He does. He does.
He really hated the Carpenters as a singing group.
Yep, he sure did.
He's like, these are the birds that suddenly appear. Yep. He gave him the finger. I just realized we're just doing audio.
Yep. Yeah, he gave him the finger.
Why do birds suddenly appear? Wait, put your middle fingers down, brother.
What do you call Winona Ryder? An oven dodger?
Is that what he said?
Yo, he said that.
Oh my god!
Damn, Mel, that's insane. I was like, that's got to be one of the craziest things anyone ever said.
So the only reason he made the Passion is because Jesus was Jewish and he could kill him in the movie.
Yes,
right?
He was like, I can kill this guy. He's like, I can do it.
Wow,
I was like,
that's terrible.
That's crazy. I was like, Mel, you wild feller.
Wow.
I was like,
she wasn't even alive back then. So how could she dodge the ovens if she wasn't even alive?
Yeah, I think he was just being
He's like, I don't know how math works.
Yeah, he was like, fuck her, I don't care. He's like, she wanted them. But also, Jesus gets crucified.
Yeah, no.
Oh, no, Jesus.
Clarence.
My bad.
Yeah.
Clarence. I'm so used to it being Jesus.
Yes.
Clarence gets crucified. And Benjamin.
Yes.
Benjamin says some funny stuff.
He's
my God, he does. Painting me.
Yeah. How does Benjamin start it? He's like, humans, God's worst mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, he's basically like, you guys are fucking disgusting.
Yeah. How's this for a prayer for you?
Yeah.
Some of the best lines.
Yo, he had some good lines in that short amount of time.
And then Clarence, like, forgive them for they know not what they do. He's doing all the stuff we attribute to Jesus.
Yep. And Clarence dies. But then we wake up in a little hut. Clarence wakes up.
Yeah, Jesus goes to him. And
performed a miracle, I'm guessing.
Yeah, resurrected him.
He's like, you ain't deserve all that.
Yeah, he's like, basically, I forget exactly what he says, but it's like, you basically stood up for me and you didn't even believe in me.
Yep.
So, and then you see the holes in his hands close up. And then, I don't know exactly what it means because of the widescreen, but you see when he's sitting up, he has that light bulb again. He has that idea again. Yeah. But he's also crying.
Yeah.
So, and that's how it ends.
Yep. I don't know what the idea was, but
yeah.
Cool little film.
God, it's a great film, man.
Yeah, it's cool because it's not too preachy.
No.
It's not too preachy. It's funny. It's got action. It's got everything you want in a movie. Some drama, a little bit of romance. It's got a little bit of everything.
It's actually about Clarence's journey from saying knowledge is more powerful than belief to knowing that knowledge is more powerful than belief.
Yeah.
Because by the end, once he gets resurrected, he knows.
Yep.
He doesn't just believe.
He doesn't just believe.
He knows.
It's factual.
So what he says the entire film becomes reality by the end.
Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of wild.
It is wild. Good writing here. I don't know who wrote it, but
he did. I think James Samuels did. I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, feller.
Yeah.
He put it down with the writing.
Yeah, he did. He was just incredible. Hold on, let me just double check here. I was looking at.
He went stupid. This is a good screenplay.
I was looking at some school stuff earlier, so now I have to go into another tab.
Yeah, tab out.
Yeah.
You gotta tab out.
Let's see here. Quick facts.
Screenplay.
I'm looking for. Okay, Wikipedia will help me out.
I sure will.
Thank God.
Written by.
Directed by James Samuels, written by James Samuels.
Good job, fella.
Yeah.
What a production credit from Jay-Z. Huh?
Yeah. That's why, most people thought it was sacrilegious, I think.
Probably.
Because they'd rather judge him than actually watch the movie.
They would.
Oh, yeah. The British film BFI, it was October 11th, 2023.
That's what I thought.
And then January 12th, 2024 in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think James Samuels might be British, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. That's
Yeah.
probably why you got all British people to play Romans, as well as other reasons. But
Yeah.
all right, MVP.
Honestly, I would say James Samuels and definitely Lakeith.
Yeah.
I mean, not only is he doing a dual role, but the charisma.
Dude, he
oozes
you can see him just shift into this. He already got an Oscar nom, right? I already knew the dude could act. Yeah. This kind of sold me on it because I was like, I've seen you do everything now. I've seen you do comedy, action, drama,
mystery with Knives Out.
So I've seen you do it all now. You got it.
And Disney Cap with Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. Where he played you.
Yeah, he was basically me.
He was like skinny Dom.
He was skinny me. Yeah, I was like, he is.
Instead of me, he was skinny me.
Yeah, I'm like, listen, I'm like, take Michael B. Jordan's physique and Lakeith's vibe and look and put them together.
That's you.
Got me. Yeah,
that's a great way to describe you.
Listen, that's pretty much me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I would say.
Wow.
So, yeah, I agree with the MVPs. I thought the kid who played Elijah was good too.
Actually, he might be a runner-up.
Yeah, he's a
honorary mention only because he was a supporting actor.
He was, but he was good.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Especially like when after. Oh, we didn't even mention Clarence getting baptized.
Oh my God! What are you talking about?
Yeah, in rewatchable scenes. Yeah,
I do have it in there. Because that part's funny as shit.
Because then once they go to see Verinia and like he's wet and stuff, he says something and Elijah goes to like high five him. And Clarence is like distracted. Then Clarence says something and goes to high five Elijah, and Elijah's distracted.
Yep.
It's so great, like the timing, like the way
is good,
so perfect.
Stoners.
Yes.
He's getting baptized.
Yeah,
smoking a fat bowl, lighting it on like a tinder box.
Yes, and he keeps dropping it in the water.
He always drops it.
Yeah,
Shit was funny. All right, peak season.
That's tough.
It's gotta be the director.
Yeah, right now
it's gotta be the director.
Yeah,
because this isn't Lakeith's biggest role. He's got an Oscar nom.
What did he get an Oscar nom for?
Judas and the Black Messiah.
Oh, that's right. I have to watch that.
And he's Judas in there.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's Snake.
Wow.
He's so good in it though. Him and Dan Kalula from and Black Panther.
Yeah. Well, isn't Lakeith in Get Out also?
Yes.
Yes,
yeah,
he is.
Yeah, he is.
He's the one who tells him to get out.
I'm like, he breaks it up. Yeah.
Get
out. Oh, he's great in that. Love it.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, best quote. Someone just run.
Oh, yeah, you might have to because I believe it or not, what I found, because I was having trouble like writing them all down. I actually found a transcript of the entire movie.
Oh, shit. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. And I was going through it, and I'm like, it's still a lot.
That's a lot. That's too much.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right. Run him over. Run him over. I'm like, outspeed in a word, Mary.
Yeah. Ain't no one outspeeding me.
Yeah, ain't no one outspeeding me.
Yeah.
Get back here, you delinquent dung beetles.
Oh, yeah. The gypsies.
The gypsies.
Yeah.
I want to be like that now, minus the bogey.
No, the bougerie.
The bougerie, yes. I don't know my damn shit.
The bogey, because
the bougerie,
he doesn't want to be bad at golf.
Yes.
I don't want a bogey.
You don't want the bird.
Yeah, the bougerie.
The bougerie, yes. Yeah. That's my damn phone. I believe in life itself. You pray to a man in the sky who you've never met.
Yes. Oh, yeah, when he's talking to his brother. Yeah.
What you do at night behind that curtain doesn't count.
Yes, Mom. Yeah, that's the rats.
Yep, the rats thing. Yeah, she's like, no, I know what she's doing. Because he was a virgin. I'm like, man, it's hard to believe this dude would be a virgin. But I guess people, waited till the marriage or whatever. Did people get married back then?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah. I guess.
I don't know shit. I've been trying to be.
Hold on, really quick. I apologize. If you're going like biblically, yes, because there is actually a story in the Gospels of Jesus turning water into wine at a wedding.
Oh, there we go.
So
he was like, I got y'all for this honeymoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been trying to be better myself to be worthy of you.
Oh, yeah, when he's talking to Verinia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the 13th apostle of Jesus.
So it's going to be Chris Rock.
Chris Rock from Dogma.
Yeah.
He's like, he told me I only had 2 weeks to live. Suck the remaining flavor out of life. It's so funny. Give me my freedom.
Oh, yes.
I don't want him. I came here to free all the slaves, not just one. Honor thy father
And
thy mother.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Faith is not something you hide behind. You stand in front of it.
Oh, that's what Barabbas says. Yeah.
Barabbas.
Yeah.
I'm going to become the new Messiah.
Yeah.
It's going to require massive testicular fortitude.
He's like grabbing himself, and Elijah looks down like, what? What?
I am immortal. Negro, please.
Yeah.
I want to find out how Jesus gathers the hope of the people.
Yeah.
And you were a virgin when you found out you were carrying child? Like, ignorant. I was minding my own virgin business, just being a virgin.
I like how she explains how the word virgin has been twisted.
Yeah.
I actually really like that because it's true.
Yeah.
She's like, unsexed, unmarried, what does it mean? And she doesn't say a definitive answer.
She doesn't.
And that's what I really like about it.
Virgin's a loose term these days.
Yes.
My dear child, you give faith and you'll find all the answers you seek. What God has you deny your family to worship him, that's what he says to Tommy.
Yeah.
You're not a Messiah, Clarence. I'm not a man without faults, but I'm not a man without purpose.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
He stopped them and then dropped them.
Oh, yeah, the stones. Yeah, the rocks.
All of your men will die here tonight.
Oh, yeah, the Romans talking to Jedediah the Terrible. Yep. Yeah.
Well, life is... Oh, men don't slap men. Women slap men.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
oh, my God, yeah, because that scene where the dude slaps Barabbas, that's right.
Yeah.
And Barabbas slaps the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
And that's, a little tip of the hat to Sidney Poitier in the heat of the night. Yeah.
He slapped shit out that motherfucker.
Yeah.
They call me Mr. Tibbs. One of the best lines ever.
Yeah.
I watched the reaction not that long ago. It's so good. All right. Well, life is full of that and which we hate.
Oh, yes.
True. You are a frightened little boy dressed in a metal plate costume.
Oh, yeah. That's what, Jedediah tells him.
Yep.
Yeah. Jedediah spitting out some
He was spitting another one from him right here. Or the second part. And what am I afraid of? Us. I was like, The girl I'm about to decapitate is the lovely sister Verenia. No, I didn't get the girl.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, sad.
Oh, yeah.
You're an animal who preys on the despair of the poor.
Yes.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
When you put it like that.
Yeah. I love that line.
That's great.
Damn.
There is no savior, and your God is a myth. I can't walk on water. I can't even swim.
Yeah.
I was like, that was a black stereotype there.
Yeah. And that's when Pilate's like, after you die from drowning, you're free to go.
Free to go. Yeah, that's hilarious. Clarence, I'm sorry for never taking you seriously, for abandoning mother. If I had been nice of a brother, you wouldn't be in a place like this.
Oh, yeah, when he visits him in jail.
Yep. I've been looking at the statues all day. I can see why the Romans are so angry.
Yeah.
I started cracking up at that part.
Yes. Yeah, because he looks at that statue when he's walking over to it. He's like, what the?
He's like, okay. Excuse me. I wish to be made clean.
Oh, yes.
Look at him. Pure and white. And so trustworthy. I lose myself when I think of you. And look where we ended up.
Yeah.
Now, sad. They always take our babies.
Oh, my God. That scene.
Ooh, that line, that scene.
And then she says it again.
Says it again, yeah.
And it's like, oh,
I was like, man, he wrote this from a very deep place that goes way beyond religion.
In a very modern perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me, Messiah, where is your God? Dear Heavenly Father, please kill all these people.
Oh my God! Yeah. Because it's like humans, God's only mistake. Benjamin and Clarence.
Yes.
Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Benjamin, oh please, I've got a prayer for you.
Yeah.
Dear Heavenly Father, please kill all these people. Fire and brimstone will suffice, but if possible, give them lava, especially that prick painting me. Yeah.
Especially that prick painting me. I had that as a line too. That was one of the funniest parts of the movie. And he's just sitting there like,
what? I just snorted. That's terrible.
Yeah, that shit was so funny.
Oh, it was.
No need to be scared. We've got God with us. All of us. You are king.
Oh yeah. Is that Elijah says
Elijah
that?
says that to him.
Yeah. Because does Cabbage say anything to him then, or no? It's just Cabbage is just there crying.
He's just there all pissed off, sad. Yeah, I think Barabbas says something that they're not Barabbas, Elijah, and I think that's it.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah. After
your way back to me, son.
Yeah.
And that's all I have for the quotes.
Yeah, because
more you had.
After that prick painting me, Clarence says we're all just men and women. Most of us have no idea what we're doing. By the time we figure it out, it's too late.
Yo, that was a good one.
And then Benjamin, I've spent my entire life witnessing the cruelty of man. Those who had plenty did not even spare me one drop of water. I've literally had the clothes lifted off my back, which Clarence is the one who did it.
Yep.
And then Clarence says, I've been one of those men, and for that I am truly, truly sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a victim of my own ignorance. Yep. That's just it. We need enlightenment, not punishment. And Benjamin says, well, good luck with that.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You ain't even get it.
Yeah. I like Joseph, after Clarence leaves Mary and Joseph, he's like, what a dumbass. Yeah.
Crazy.
Knowledge is stronger than belief.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have let you drown, but now I have to
crucify you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was good. He has some good lines.
Yeah. I mean, there's one line, I forget exactly what it is, but it's when they're in the back of the cart and Barabbas is talking about how he never says anything disparaging about his brothers.
Yeah.
And then I think Clarence says something and he's like, Edward, what?
There's some funny parts.
Yeah, there's some really great parts that just kind of like happen, and it seems like they happen naturally.
Naturally, yes. Like it does feel like he just thought of that. Like,
yes. Yeah, especially with Clarence. Some of the stuff that he says is just kind of like...
He has some good little comebacks and digs. But like, he is funny. Like, he's naturally funny. Like, on Atlanta, he's fucking hilarious.
Oh, my God, he is in Atlanta.
Yeah, like, he's hilarious.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, what age the best? I have the story. Acting.
I do believe the story because when I watched it this time around, I'm like, okay, all the Romans are British. And they're trying to force their religion upon people who have another religion. Mm-hmm. So obviously, it's also a comment on colonialism.
Yep.
So it's like, it's running the gamut of like colonialism and everything that colonialism caused, which includes the modern things that are in it that it addresses as well.
Yes, sir.
And it's like, yeah, everything is just aged.
Sage right.
Yeah, and I know it's only been out a year and a half, but my God,
it's gonna age well.
Yes, it will always.
I think people will look back and be like, you know, we can give this movie a fair shake.
Yeah, it'll be on like Turner Classic in a few years, and people will be reevaluating.
They're like, for what's age the worst, I had nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
too soon.
Yeah, but like, even in the future.
As age well.
Yeah, as like a commentary on society, it'll still age well. Yeah. Nothing will age bad because that's how society is, and hopefully will change.
Hopefully will change. Even if it does change, you still got this to refer back to.
Yeah.
We had to go through this to get there.
Yes.
Because I was watching The Hurricane with Denzel last night too. And I was like, dude.
That's the one where he's a boxer, right?
Yeah. And I was like, dude, shit black people had to go through back in the day to get to where we are now. It's fucking crazy, man. I don't know how they did it back then, bro.
Did you ever see The Great White Hoax with James Earl Jones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he was Jack Johnson.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did a whole whole project on Jack Johnson in college. He was awesome.
On a separate note, have you ever listened to the musician Jack Johnson?
Oh yeah,
Guy.
Pancakes, dude.
Oh,
Great
he's
song.
look, just his first two albums.
Yep.
Brushfire Fairy Tales and on and on. I love them.
Brushfire Fairy Tales is a classic.
Yeah, Flake.
Jack Johnson's good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't take you for a Jack Johnson guy.
The first time I ever heard Flake, I was blown away.
Okay.
And oftentimes we're lazy.
Yeah,
it seems to get in my way.
Facts. Every day.
Yeah. So it's, because every time, I never knew his name at first because the station out of Reading was the only station that would play that song when it first came out. And I would always get it confused. So when I was looking for his stuff, I could never find it.
Who the fuck is this guy? It's pre-Shazammed.
But he worked with G Love and Special Sauce out of Philly on one of their albums, Philadelphonic. He did at least one or two songs on there with them. Because the song Rodeo Clowns, which is on and on, they did it first. He did it with G Love and Special Sauce first.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
All right. Most rewatchable scenes.
From the beginning to the end. Yeah. Honestly, because everything. Well, Lakeith is in almost every scene.
Yeah, he's virtually in this whole fucking.
Except for the scenes with Jesus.
Yeah. Which would probably add up to 5 minutes max.
Yeah. So, like, it's like 2 hours and, like, maybe, like.
And he is in a
13 minutes, let's say. Yeah. And, like, at least 2 hours of it is all him.
Yeah, 2+ probably 2:05.
Yeah.
I had the opening scene with the race.
Yeah, the race. Yes, thank you.
When they go see Jedediah, and he basically is like, 29 days.
Yeah, because that sets up. That's the catalyst for what happens.
Sets up everything. Yeah, they're in debt.
Yeah.
The baptism, when he gets slapped multiple times.
And, blasphemer!
Yo, the dude playing John the Baptist, like...
Oh, David...
it starts with an O.
Yeah,
whatever his last name is.
Yeah.
He is a very good actor.
He is.
He is good. He's good in everything I've watched.
Yeah. He was in Selma.
He is. He's Martin Luther King.
Yes.
He's great. He did his British movie, Rosamund Pike, where he plays like this African king and they get married. And of course, like, you can't marry this white woman. Yeah, it was pretty good, but it's a true story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But he was funny as fuck.
He was. He
was calling them out on all their shit.
Yes.
It was funny.
You're only doing this because you want to get out of it. Look, word travels fast in Jerusalem.
Word travels fast, yeah. He said, I'm not going to help you get away with your debt to what the fuck is his name?
Jedediah. Yeah.
He's like, I'm not going to help you get away with that. And he slaps him, and that's when Earl drops the...
Yeah.
Not Earl. Elijah, still E. That's when Elijah drops the blunt in the water.
And it's like, you can let him out. It takes a minute.
Yeah. That scene is funny as shit. I was like, yo, why is this scene so funny? I do remember laughing at that scene a lot when I first watched it. I was cracking up this time. Okay, I said, when they get high in the courtyard, float away.
Yes.
When they go see Asher the Torturer and get Barabbas.
Yes.
When they visit the Virgin Mary and Joseph. When he starts performing his fake miracle.
Yeah, and when they
montage.
Yeah, I was going to say that montage where they show him, like, practicing
too. Yeah, it was like the whole montage of him practicing and then doing it.
Yeah.
When he buys the slave's freedom.
Yes, that's a powerful scene.
Very. That's a powerful scene. And the next one was very powerful when Mary and Elijah get stoned.
Yes.
Them two brought the acting out in that scene, bro. I was like, whoa. I was like, these Tiana Taylor's in a lot of movies now. The chick who plays
Mary
Magdalene. You know, she started on My Super Sweet 16, bro.
Really?
Yeah, but she's really talented. She like makes music, rides bikes, skates, does all kinds of shit. Yeah, she's just a real talented chick, real good looking too.
Hey now.
Then of course the dance party.
Yes.
When they spear Barabbas.
Oh my God.
When he walks on water and he's getting, basically on trial.
Yeah.
When they clean Benjamin, of course.
Yeah. Yes.
When he's carrying the cross.
Yeah.
And then the crucifixion, the final scene.
Yeah.
So pretty much from start to finish.
Yeah. Basically, that is the entire
whole film, man.
Yeah. Every scene is rewatchable. Because every scene matters.
Every scene. That's what I was like, when I was like, I don't remember this being almost 2:15. I was like, could they have cut this for time? I was like, actually, I don't know if you could have maybe cut 5 minutes, but I was like, you kind of need every scene.
Yeah, every scene's important.
You kind of need every scene builds upon it. Like, it builds the story up. It's definitely, there's no randomness in this movie. Everything has a purpose. Like, so you do need every scene for the most part. You can maybe shorten some scenes, but you need them all. All right, best characters.
Clarence, Elijah,
course, yep.
Barabbas.
Yep.
Oh, Benjamin.
Of course, Benjamin. Yep.
Yeah. Verinia.
Yep.
Oh, you love Mary Magdalene.
Yes.
I guess by default, we have to say Jesus.
I mean, maybe.
By default.
I put Jedediah in there too.
Because he did redeem himself.
Yeah, I'm like, he's not a bad dude. I'm like, he is definitely nowhere near the Romans. He ain't out here. Look, he's running a business.
Yeah,
right?
that is.
All did borrow money from him, correct?
Yeah.
So you gotta pay up. It's just like modern day, bro. You don't pay, you get enslaved. So. Yeah, I have pretty much all of them. I didn't put Jesus in, but he is by default.
By default. I mean,
but he's not in it a lot.
No, and so then worst characters.
Of course,
Thomas.
James. Oh, Thomas got to be in worst characters. Yeah. I didn't put him in. I had McVoy and the Romans, but
and Judas.
And Judas. And Judas. I had them three: the Romans, McVoy, Judas. But Thomas can go in. He's like in purgatory.
Yeah,
he's well intended, but his actions aren't great.
Yeah.
So
because I think he ends up believing in his brother more at the end of the film, but only because he blames himself for what he went through.
Yeah.
When it's really Cabbage's fault, if you think about it, because if those gypsies wouldn't have attacked in the beginning, he would have gotten the money. He would have won. He would have won and gotten the money, and everything would have been okay.
Everything would have been all right.
Yeah. But, so it's that little boy's fault.
Reasons.
Yeah, the little gypsy kid.
The little gypsy kid. Yeah, so, I had all those. Nitpicks, did you have any?
I didn't have one.
Dude, I didn't have any. I was like, I was cool with everything.
Yeah, the set design.
Yeah, the set design. Costumes. I was going to say, I was like, I'll probably have some, like, visual nitpicks, but I was like, nah, it all works. They all look fine.
Like, some people might have nitpicks with, like, let's say the Romans all British accents, but like I said, I think that's to symbolize colonialism.
Dude, everyone has British accents, too, everywhere.
Yeah.
Every movie now.
Yeah,
like, Star Wars suddenly became British.
But watch Sound of Music. These Austrians have British accents.
Yeah. These Austrians.
Yes.
So they don't sound like Arnold.
No.
All right.
How do you solve the problem like Maria? What?
Dude, hey, he's the man, bro. He's the man.
Schwarzenegger.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Dude.
Even though his name sounds like a racial slur.
It does.
Because Schwarz in German is black.
Yeah.
So his name might be.
He's a bastard. He's like, I was going to kill Sinbad and fucking jingle all the way.
Sinbad.
He's like, I almost stabbed Carl Weathers in Predator. He's kill him. The best bro handshake in the world.
Oh yeah. That's one of the classic memes, isn't it?
That meme, that meme ended racism.
That's why we're doing this.
Yes,
that's why we're here, because of that meme.
Right there, right? Without that meme, we wouldn't be here at all. All right, recasting couch.
Oh, dude, I couldn't. Like I said,
I got you on this.
Please, because all I could think of was like 25, 30 years ago. I'm like, I could think of different casts in the past.
I fucking forgot one, but you can recast that one because it's the white dude.
Okay.
All right, Clarence.
Wait, that's racist.
We ended it.
That's
Oh, shit. All right, so for Clarence, we can either do me.
You would be perfect.
I could play. I'm telling you, I could play this.
You would play the shit out of this. And I think you'd also be a good Thomas.
I would be a good Thomas.
Yes.
I'd be a great Thomas. It'd be fun.
Honestly, if we wanted to make it like the movie Twins, I could be Thomas and you could be Clarence.
Yeah, there we go.
Twin brothers.
Be twin bros. It'll be better than Arnold and fucking
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, That's fucking hilarious.
Uh,
So I got this kid named Ashton Saunders.
okay.
He is actually quite a few things. I'll show you what he looks like.
Okay.
He plays he's in Equalizer 2. He plays RZA. He plays RZA in the Wu-Tang show. He was one of the main kids in the Moonlight movie that won Best Picture that year.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, and he's incredible in that movie. He plays Bobby Brown in the Whitney Houston movie.
Oh, really?
Came out recently. Yeah,
wow.
And he's really good in that. He was my favorite character by far.
So he likes Booger Sugar.
He does.
If he plays Bobby Brown.
He definitely likes Booger.
I don't mean in real life. I just mean as Bobby Brown.
He definitely did in that film. He liked it, And I don't know how he pulled her anyway, but whatever.
Yeah, well,
you know, that charisma.
And
New Edition was good.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude, right after New Edition and his solo career in like the later 80s.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to take control, man. The song from Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah, there you go.
So, you know what? I agree. Based on the look of him,
if you saw him act, that's the thing that really made me want him, because his acting style is similar to Keith's.
Yeah.
He'll get there. He's getting a lot of opportunities. For Elijah, I had David Johnson, who just did Alien Romulus, the little British black kid.
Oh, dude with the eyelids.
Yes.
Yeah, he kind of has like heavy eyelids. You know what? That'll be perfect because he kind of looks like he might be high anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that dude's a great actor.
He's a good actor.
I've seen him in some British stuff.
And he's a little bit on the shorter side.
Yeah,
Elijah is, so I'm like,
yeah, he would be good. I actually, God, Alien Romulus was great.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
I love Kaylee Sweeney. She's amazing. For Verenia, obvious choice, Lupita Nyong'o.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
she would be perfect.
She's perfect, bro. She's just like the obvious pick, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you need a sexy dark-skinned girl? There you go.
Yeah.
Because, dude, that chick, what's her name again? Who plays Verenia?
It's Anna, I think Diop.
Anna Diop.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm telling you, dude, check out Titans on Max.
I might have to.
It's like, Teen Titans, but they're adults. Yeah.
Right.
And she plays Starfire.
I think Court told me to watch that. I think she said it was good.
And the dude, Brenton Thwaites, plays Dick Grayson. He's actually awesome.
All right. Well,
excuse me. The first season is kind of trying to set up everything. So Dick Grayson is like not Robin anymore, and he's, I think, a police detective.
Okay.
But he's kind of getting these characters together to try to help
little
Raven.
Avengers type deal.
Sort of, yeah. But he's a really great Dick.
All right.
Grayson. Dick Grayson.
Sure, he's a great Dick.
Yeah. But it's a different Starfire than like your Teen Titans cartoon, but she's really great at Starfire.
Starfire is great.
Yeah.
She's so funny in Teen Titans Go, bro. All right. Verenia. Or not Verenia, Jedediah. I had Jonathan Majors.
Yes. Or you know what?
He could play Barabbas.
I was going to say, because he has the size.
He could play.
Yeah.
I just felt like he might have been too young.
Because I still think Jonathan Majors got a raw deal.
He got a raw fucking deal, man.
Because, dude, I want to know what the fuck they were going to do with Kang.
Yeah, dude.
He was incredible.
He was he elevated that character.
Yeah. And that's just from like fucking Loki, and he was the best part of Quantum
of that damn, like, one of the best parts of the show and of Quantum Mania.
Yeah. And like and even Loki season 2, he was
great. That's what I was like, the show too.
Yeah, I was thinking of just season 1, that like 20-minute scenes he had at the end of the season.
Like, he's great. He was a scene stealer. He's not in it a lot, but he's a scene stealer when he is.
And dude, Lovecraft Country. Have you seen it?
I still haven't watched that.
Dude, fucking, it's incredible.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
He's good.
Yeah,
he's good.
I would say
Black Man at San Francisco. He killed that. He's killed everything. Creed 3 was good in, bro. He's good in everything.
So I would say.
But wait until you hear my Barabbas.
Okay. So yeah. So right now,
the problem with Jonathan Majors is he's too young to play Barabbas. That actor's like 50.
Oh yeah, Barabbas has to be weathered.
Yeah, I'm like Barabbas. That guy actor's like 50. Jonathan Majors like my age.
I can't believe Omar Sy's like 50.
Yeah, dude, he looks great.
He does.
So Barabbas, Idris Elba.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Go
with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is what I forgot. McVoy, you got somebody you think of?
Oh, yeah.
He's probably the easiest one to redo.
Yeah, who could play Pontius Pilate? So
I was thinking maybe Jeremy Renner.
No, it has to be British.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I think to make it authentic.
Yeah. I forgot McVoy's actually is British.
And McVoy's
how old is he? 40,
like mid-40s.
44.
Yeah, so that's the problem because I'm like,
everyone thinking of him old.
Well, I was thinking like Daniel Radcliffe, but he's like mid-30s now.
He's too young.
Yeah, because he still looks like he's in his 20s.
Yeah, I was like, he still looks young too. And then I thought about Michael Fassbender. He's too old, and he's not British, but he can.
He's half British, I think.
Okay,
he's like German and British.
Christian Bale, too old.
No, Christian Bale would be great. 50. Yeah, Christian Bale would be great.
Yeah, Christian Bale could do it.
Yeah,
and you never get to hear his real accent.
Yeah.
He'd be good. He'd be funny.
Yeah, because I was thinking like Daniel Craig, but he might be too old.
He's too old now. Yeah, I'm like, I would have loved him if he wasn't.
Tom Hardy.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, Tom Hardy.
That's it. Perfect age. He's the right age.
And he has the right look.
The look's there. He can do a creepy voice, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that, Tom Hardy. All right, for Benjamin, I went Irish. Cillian Murphy.
Yes.
He can do a British accent.
Yeah. I think that would be perfect.
I mean, they're neighbors, you know. They're close enough.
And put a beard on him.
Yeah, dude. Put a wig on him.
Yeah.
He'd be a good Jesus.
Yeah.
Or white Jesus. Whatever you want to call him. For Mary Magdalene, Keke Palmer.
Yes.
I'm like, I think I did all right on this.
I think you did,
I did all right on this. I was sitting there, I was messing with this one.
Because it's so new. I'm like, how can you recast it when it's so new?
It's new, and it's like, it's not a ton of black actors to pick from for a lot of these. So, I mean, there is, but like, not a lot that people would know. Like, you say their name, you're like, oh yeah, from this or that.
Well, everyone knows Keke Palmer.
Yeah, everybody knows Keke Palmer.
She's like a Disney or Nickelodeon?
Yeah, Disney. Nick,
yeah.
Disney.
Because Zendaya is also
Disney too. Yeah, both of them Disney. I was like, Disney. Yeah, she's great. She's so good in Nope, dude. You ever see Nope? Jordan Peele?
Nope. No, but
bro, it's her and Dan Kalula. They're amazing. She
was just in that movie you watched.
Yeah, one of them days.
Incredible.
Hell, SZA could maybe be in this movie. She's a decent actress. Director, I want the director for Moonlight, Barry Jenkins.
Okay.
And he did a Beale Street Guitar. He's done a bunch of black movies.
Barry Jenkins. What else has he directed?
I'll pull up his.
Because that name sounds really familiar, and I've never seen Moonlight.
Oh my God, we should possibly do that next Pride Month. For Pride Month, we'll do Moonlight.
Okay.
He just did Mufasa.
Okay.
Mufasa, Moonlight, If Beale Street Could Talk, The Underground Railroad. He did not do After Sun.
Because I thought I saw
Melody for Melancholia or Medicine for Melancholy. Never saw that.
Because the name sounds really familiar. Like I've seen it recently.
I mean, he's young. He's only 45. Dude.
Yeah. So.
Oh, interesting. He's an Asian wife. Didn't know that. She looks kind of like. Your girl, Aquafina.
Oh, a little bit, yeah. All right.
So
no, I trust you.
Trust me.
I do trust you.
He can do this
because I was
he's a good director.
Because I'm wondering because you're better. You're more well versed for like other filmmakers. Because I was trying to think of like I hate to say filmmakers of color. Yeah. That's all I can think of.
Well, I mean, if John Singleton was alive, I would have picked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he ain't.
But like
F. Gary Gray probably could do it.
Well, I was thinking F. Gary Gray because with the humor, I'm thinking of Friday.
Yep, the humor of Friday and the music video aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Because Friday always kind of reminded me of like, it was filmed almost like a sitcom.
It is. It's an hour and a half sitcom.
Yeah.
But, that's R-rated.
Yes.
But Barry J would be good. F. Gary Gray would be good. Either of them.
Spike Lee
would not direct. He'd be like, I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah. But it could be like his.
If he did it.
Because he loves Scorsese, right? This could be his last temptation.
It could. It could.
Yeah.
Spike, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
he's one of the best, so.
Yeah.
All right, unanswerable questions. I didn't have any.
I guess really the question, the only question I would have is, what was that idea?
Yeah, the ideas, yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
because I know the story from the Bible, so like, Jesus rises from the grave and he's unrecognizable, is it because it's Clarence?
Maybe.
So he doesn't actually look like Jesus.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Is that the unanswerable question?
It's got to be.
Yeah.
All right, prop you up from the movie. I went with Benjamin's robe.
wait, the dirty one?
The dirty one.
The dirty one. I would want one of the spears that went through Barabbas.
The one that went through the ankle.
That's what I want. Wrong ankle, motherfucker. He's kind of, look, if this was like 50 years ago, Dolomite could have been, Rudy Ray Moore. Rudy Ray Moore could have been Barabbas. Wrong ankle, motherfucker.
I don't know if you got the chops for it, bro. I would rather got O.J. Simpson, bro.
And then Queenie could have been Mary Magdalene.
Oh, my Lord. Not hot enough.
Oh, Clarence.
Oh, Clarence.
I am so happy.
I'm so happy. I'm doing it, man. Great acting. A1. That shit is funny. All right, man. So put a grade on
it. I give it an A+.
A+. I'm going to give it... I'm going to give it a 90%. A
90. An A-.
90%.
Really?
90%.
Even with Lakeith's performance?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 90.
Okay.
It's great. It's great.
All right.
I'm going to give it a 90. That's a good score. Bro.
That is a good score.
I can give it a 70.
That's true. That is very true.
It's passing with flying colors, I'd say. You know, you made Dean's list.
That's true. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give it an A. So, watch this Easter if you guys have.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It is good, and it's funny, and it's got everything. You can watch it with your kids too. You can tell them, you can explain some shit to them.
And honestly, if you watch it on your own, you can watch it next Easter with your family. If you actually enjoy it and see.
Hey, I pre-screened this for y'all.
Yeah. Yep. See the value of it. Like, all right, we need to get through some iffy stuff, but the message is there.
Message is there.
Yeah.
So, Stoned Age?
Okay, hold on.
Wait, there's something we're supposed to do before the Stone Age.
There is, but I realized something. So next week, we'll record, right?
Uh-huh.
And it'll be out the week after.
Yeah, you got...
So the week after, it'll be out. That Sunday will be May the 4th. So what Star Wars movie do you want to do next week? So we actually have one
last year. Empire?
I think it was Empire. And the year before, we did Influences of Star Wars.
We did Influences.
So what Star Wars movie do you want to do this year, so it's actually out by the time May the 4th is out?
Should we do Revenge of the Sith?
I was thinking that, believe it or not. Because I know you love Anakin, you love Vader,
Vader, love Padme.
And I know you, well, we know you, everyone knows you love Padme.
Oh, yes.
But I know you're also a fan and a champion of Hayden Christensen's performance.
Absolutely am.
So
I'm going to tell people why it's good, and they're probably still going to be like, you're wrong.
So, Revenge of the Sith, and then we'll start. Because I realized we always ended up like preempting stuff for Star Wars movies anyway around May the 4th.
May the 4th, let's do it.
So,
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith, okay. I wanted you to pick.
All right.
Because I know you love Rogue One.
I love Rogue One.
And you love...
That might be next year.
Okay, that's fine. We can do one every year.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Because Rogue One is my shit. Jen Erso, Felicity Jones. Yes, Lord.
What's his name? Andor?
Andor, yep. Diego Luna. Good actor. All right, guys. So, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Share if you must to friends who might...
your religious folks. Hey, any of you guys got religious folks in your life, send this to them.
Yeah.
Tell them to watch this movie. Comment. Let us know what you think of it. I'm Dom.
I am Jamie.
It's Cover Floor.